All right, guys, so I'm here today tying up some loose ends. Let me just show you some things that we had. One thing was they hadn't moved in yet. And guys, and they're probably not gonna move in until you get all the items on the punch list done. But this right here is a patch that I had. And guys, what they usually do is they usually grind in that thing, in that little surface area. They smooth it out. And then they put what they call a hydraulic concrete there. And it should take care of it. You see I had a leak right here. And guys, this is not a big issue. Guys, this happens in your walls sometime when you don't vibrate the walls really good. They honeycomb. And when they honeycomb, you know, that water from the foundation is draining and it's coming in and it's getting in. And that happens. We had another one over there. So we'll just see how this right here works. See, it's kind of damp here because it's been raining the last few days. So we want to watch this right here. And then you want to watch other areas where you may have cracks and issues with the walls. But it's not a big issue. So you want to check that out. Make sure. And guys, you want to have at least a 1-year warranty with your homeowners, so if they see things like this, the builder, I want to see this right here. I want them to call me. Now they can have the waterproofers information only because, they can schedule the time when they need to get over here if they have a leak. But I want to know about this right here as well. Another item that I typically come in after they move in is the screens. So that's what my guys put up. But they hadn't moved in yet, but I'm going to go ahead and put these screens in here. We'll take some pictures of it. Because what'll happen is they'll move the furniture in, they'll scratch the screens. And if they scratch the screens, they're going to put that on you. They're going to say, well, the screens are like this right here. So I typically don't do this right here until they're done. So you can kind of see we're gonna put all the screens in, and I'll come back over here and take a bunch of pictures of it. Just so if they say, well, hey, you did this right here, scratch, it's not going to be my fault. That's a screen door. So I like to do it after they've moved everything in, but in this case, we go ahead and do it like right now. And guys, I'll be honest with you. There was some trash out in the garage, so I get that handled. And, I don't have anything else on my slate to do. I have everything that I said I was going to do. I came in and did it. And now what you don't want is them to keep trying to come back and keep kicking the can. Well, keep moving the goalposts on you. Well, what about this? What about this? And coming up with things, especially cosmetic things. So you're not going to get into that game. And guys, unfortunately, especially with my people, guys, I'll just be honest with you, man, you have to be exemplary, man. It just is what it is, man. And I understand that, man. And I don't let that, you don't want to take that personal, that people are overly critical on you as a builder because you may be an African-American male. Nothing wrong with that, guys. And if you're an African-American male builder, take that as a challenge to make sure that you strive for perfection when you're building these houses. And if you strive for perfection, now I can't build a perfect house, so it's not going to be perfect. But along the way, if I strive to make this house perfect, I can at least get excellence. I can get this thing to the point to where it's excellent, man. I mean, you can't come back and say, well, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. I did it to the best of my ability. With the amount of information I understand, they left this one open. With the amount of information I understand as a builder, so you got to try to build these houses as good as you can, man. Homeowners, you don't know what happened to them. You don't know if they listen to people at work talking about, I had a homeowner one time that, everybody at work was telling them how bad their builders were. And they were just expecting that to be me. They were just expecting me to really just not cover everything or be very detailed oriented. They were just expecting that from me as a builder. And it just never happened. And that actually bothered them. because they was looking for a problem. And sometimes people looking for problems, there are no problems. And that's what you want, guys. And then if you got an issue, go back and knock it out, guys. This is why I say, builders, number one, you need to force accountability. Whoever's doing the work, those are the guys that needs to be correcting the problem, not you. See, and that's why as a builder, we don't actually, guys, I don't actually get out here and do, I may do one or two things to just kind of make sure, just real small items to make sure it can get from one sub to the next. But for the most part, guys, you're gonna force accountability on your subcontractors. That's why I say hire a good subcontract and pay them. Pay them, guys, because you don't want those guys coming back saying, well, you didn't pay me that much. That's why you didn't get a good job. You don't want to hear that. And so, your job as a builder is force accountability. You don't need to be out here. And another thing you want to do as a builder, guys, you want to take at least 1% of your profits. So you got a $500,000 house, you take about $5,000 and set that aside in another account. Don't touch it. Don't even deal with that money. And every time there is a callback that you have to, most of the callbacks are going to be your subs. And they usually going to pass a 1-year warranty on it. Look at that lizard right there. So you let them do their thing. That's not on you. But if it's something that is going to cost you to have to come back out here and handle, then what you're going to do is you're going to use that money. You might have to re-engineer some stuff. Which if you did everything right, you won't have no major problems like that. So, but you use that money to deal with the callbacks. The problem is, especially in the African-American community, the builders don't put that money aside. So they don't have the money to come back and handle callbacks. So I put the trash out front. And if they don't have the money to handle the callbacks, now they avoid the homeowner. And that is exactly what you don't want to do. That's exactly what you don't want to do. You don't want to avoid them, especially if it's something that got to be fixed. I'm not talking about cosmetic stuff, guys. I mean, cosmetic stuff, when they move in or when you do the punch list, they need to deal with that. That's on them. They don't need to be going back finding more cosmetic stuff to try to get you to do. That's not fair. That's a moving goalpost. You'll never make them happy. But structural items and things like that, handle that stuff, man. Handle it. Knock it out the way. Make it perfect. Make it where they can't complain about anything. There's nothing you can complain about. They can't go to their friends and say, well, you know something? That builder there messed me up. They had to say, huh? He did what he said he was going to do. All right, guys. That's another one.